All right, Granny, you ready?
Yes, it is.
What's your name?
Chris Johnson.
What does family mean to you?
It means life itself. I mean, to me, life wouldn't be worth anything without them. They're the best thing that ever happened to me. My whole family.
Are you sure?
Not really.
How about whenever I was little and she kept me on a diet when I wasn't really fat to start with, and she wouldn't buy me Coke and popcorn at J.M. Fields. So I sat on the floor and pretended I was retarded and made her look stupid.
Brian was about 16 or 17 years old, and he said he had chapped lips. So mother goes to the bathroom, in her bathroom, and brings out Carmex and hands it to him.
Put it on, and then my lips just start burning. And I'm like, Granny, you sure this is lip balm? And we look, somebody takes a look at it. I think it was her. And she's like, oh, no, that's actually jock itch cream.
Ryan immediately went running and trying to wipe everything off his face, and mother's dying laughing. And of course, Tim, he's really good at this. He said, why are you laughing? You're the one that bought it. What have you been using it for? So
I thought it was chapstick, and it was for jock itch and for something else. I don't know. And he had it all over his mouth.
What's the craziest thing our family's ever done?
Oh, I guess that would be our, not dirty Santa. What do you call that?
Gag gifts?
Yeah, our gag gifts is probably that would be the most, I think. And
Is there one particular gift, gag gift you can remember? That was the...
well, yeah, that one that Tim sent to everybody that I was engaged to that black man.
What did he do?
Made a Christmas card with me.
I made a Christmas card up. Her and her friends were delivering motorhomes, and they were up, I think, near Buffalo, New York, and they took group pictures, and one of the pictures was her with this black man, their arms around each other. So I took the picture, I made a Christmas card, and the card stock, on the computer. Cindy and I left Yulee, Florida, and drove to Macon, Georgia to mail it so there wouldn't be a postmark where we lived on it. And the postcard said, Merry Christmas from Chris and Leroy.
I sent it to my whole family. And Brother Gary and Deborah, and Dwight, Donnie, and Dent, and Stella. So, and they all thought it was a Christmas card, but it was a Christmas card with me and a black guy.
And actually her brother Dwight got his copy, but his wife Kathy opened it and hid it, wouldn't show it to him. They thought it was real. And her sister Stella, when she got back off the road, doing her motorhome delivery that month, and she said, called her up and told her to get down there. And she went down to her house, and she said, what? And she threw that card down on the table, and Chris looked at it and started laughing. She instantly knew it was me, but Stella thought it was real. She said, explain yourself. There she was, a picture with a black man on part of her Christmas card. And she kept denying it, and I don't think Stella really believed her.
Do you have a story about Granny's childhood?
When she tried to scrub the black off of the baby.
Tried to scrub the black boy clean.
Yeah, they tried to scrub the black off.
Tried to scrub the black boy clean.
How about that time she tried to scrub the black boy clean?
Time that she tried to scrub the black.
Tried to bring him inside and wash the mud off of him, not realizing that was actually the
Her
mother.
and Stella put them in the wash tub and tried to scrub them clean.
What's the real story about Granny and the black boy?
when mother and Aunt Stella were very young, Granny Smith had a housekeeper, and she brought her son with her, and they were black. Well, they'd never seen a black person before, so they put him in a tub, and with a brush they scrubbed him until he was red, trying to get him clean.
The night that I came over on Saturday night, that one Saturday night when I was in college, and Granny and Cindy and Creesh and my mom are all doing the electric slide in the den. And I was like, what's going on? And Granny's like, I'm going to the Mary Kay convention this year, and they all get down on the floor and do the electric slide. And so I taught Granny the electric slide.
When me and Granny went to the mall and did the the green screen thing to Beyonce's,
All the single ladies?
yeah, all single ladies. I've never seen her move like that. I didn't know she could.
How old are you?
5.
How old are you?
8.
How old are you, Jonah? 2, 3? 4? You're 4. That's right. How old do you think Granny is? How old is Granny?
76.
Pretty close.
1.
Granny's 1? Okay.
77. I can't even count to that number.
Mother and I were at Walmart, and she must have been, I don't know, 20 feet away from me, and she keeps talking about this lady that she's training on how to drive a truck, and she keeps saying, Tim says she's gay. Tim says she's gay. She's got a gay haircut. I think she's gay too. I said, what is a gay haircut, Mother? And she says, well, I don't know, but I think she's gay too. And she just kept going on and on and on about how she thought this lady was gay. Well, lo and behold, about 5 feet away on the same aisle was another lady. And she walked up to Mother and she started asking her some questions about the lady that she was talking about and driving a truck and stuff. And the lady looked at Mother and said, oh, that's my sister you're talking about. And Mother did not miss a beat and says, oh, well, y'all just need to come and go with us to church. We ran into people that Mother goes to church with, and I kept asking her to tell them how she's trying to invite these people to church by calling them gay and then inviting them to go to church with us. But I think it got off with Mother quite a bit, and it was hilarious at the time.
It was one day it was right around the time we got married, and we were out at Granny's house. And I want to say it was morning time or something. Maybe it was afternoon. We were getting ready to go somewhere. And my pants were unzipped, and I didn't know it. And Amanda looked down and says, honey, your pants are unzipped. And Granny hears that, and she looks at me and she puts her arm around me and she goes, oh, honey, that's okay. Cecil always told me what can't get up, can't get out.
What's one thing that Granny does really well?
Makes me milkshakes. Cook suppers.
Cook supper?
My granny is an amazing cook when it comes to some items.
What's something that Granny can't do good at all?
He gave that cook suppers.
Granny was making spaghetti one night and had run out of spaghetti sauce. So she took a jar of salsa, added it to the spaghetti sauce because
It was red, and she said spaghetti sauce is red, so she put salsa in the spaghetti because it was the same color.
somebody, I don't even remember who it was now, but somebody asked her what was so different about it, and she confessed to adding salsa to it because she had run out of spaghetti sauce. So that's probably one of the craziest things I remember her doing.
Wait, I got another one.
Okay.
How about when I put the frog in her purse at church?
What happened?
She whipped me.
Granny used to always, from what I understand, she'd get a stick of gum while she was sitting in her pew at church, like every Sunday. And so, what Mom did is
I put a little slimy green rain frogs in her purse.
she reached in to grab her a stick of gum, and instead of grabbing the stick of gum, she grabbed the frog. And whenever she pulled it out, she flipped out of it.
And everybody thought the Holy Spirit had got her. And it was a frog. And all they could see was me and Kim laughing on the back pew. That was pretty good. I was wrong too.
If you could choose one famous person to go on a date with, who would it be? Dead or alive?
Can't even think of his name. See, you wait till he gets old, I can't even remember these people.
You're not old. You're still young.
Who was it played Smoking the Bandit?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Yeah, it would be Burt Reynolds.
Granny got the hot first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
Really?
Really? Maybe she just wants him to take his hat off.
Mother, shame on you.
But did she give a reason for why she would choose Burt Reynolds?
She likes cowboy hat, I guess, or the car.
Wow. Okay. Burt Reynolds.
I have to see, she likes Burt Reynolds movies.
Burt Reynolds.
I don't know who Burt Reynolds is.
Tell me about Granddaddy. How did y'all meet?
Stummer and I was walking down the road and was going over to the Fullers, and he was sitting on their front door steps working on a bicycle, trying to put a bicycle together, and we stopped, and they had just moved into the community, and I never dated anybody else and he didn't either. So.
How old were you?
I was 12 and he was 14.
They went to school in Damascus, and the school was up off the ground, and she said that Daddy always tried to get her to go up under the schoolhouse with him. Not my daddy.
Granny said she wanted to go with him. I do remember that. She refused.
How long did y'all date before you got married?
Well, I don't think you could call it dating, but I was 16 and he was 18 when we got married.
I love the fact that when her and Granddaddy got married, she went back home to her mom and didn't tell Mama Holly for what, a week? So I think she lived with Mama Holly again for another week after her and Granddaddy got married.
And we lived together 40 years and 13 days.
What's your favorite memory of Granddaddy?
Oh, that was be hard too, because I've got a lot of good ones, but Cease was just a good guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't materialistic. He didn't care about material things. People was more important to him than material things.
Tell me about your mother. Who was your mother?
Robbie Holly, Robbie Stanton.
And what everybody call her?
Mama Holly.
Mama Holly. What values or lessons did you learn from Mama Holly?
Your reputation is the most important thing to you. You can take a lifetime building it and lose it in a minute.
What values or lessons did you learn from Granny?
I think value is sacrifice. You know, you sacrifice a lot for your family to do what you know needs to be done, not always the easy choice.
The most important thing that I learned from her was to love Jesus. And from the time that we were little, we were in church day and night, Sunday morning, Sunday night. Even if we didn't want to go, we were there.
If it was vacation Bible school, she was taking me to vacation Bible school. Sunday school, whatever the case may be. You know, if church doors were open, Granny wanted you there. If you went through Sunday school at at some point you ended up having Aunt Stella, Granny's sister. Loved Aunt Stella to death, but her class wasn't always the funnest. Aunt Stella could be pretty strict on you and hard on you, especially when you were her nephew or great nephew. So there wasn't that much that made me want to go to Sunday school, but Granny always encouraged me. Granny always took me. She made church fun for a child.
And of course you learn to love it the older you get. I mean, I've never been a morning person, so getting up in the morning when you don't have to, that was a chore at times.
Even with my kids now, Granny always wants Elijah and Jonah to be at vacation Bible school at and I really appreciate that.
She was always our Girl Scout leader. She was our youth leader. She was always involved in everything that we did. So the fact that she didn't just take us or drop us off, that she took us and was involved in it with us, that had a huge impact.
I am incredibly thankful for her taking us to church and teaching me some of the things that she taught me, even though I would sit in front of the mirror and cry rather than wear a dress to church, because that certainly impacted my life, and I don't think I would have been where I am right now without her and her influence. I like to go and travel and see stuff, and that probably started early on with all the trips on the truck with her and Granddaddy.
She taught me to always do my best and to be a good Christian.
One, she kind of inspired me to go out and do the thing I love, because she loved driving for a living. I mean, that's what she did.
She taught me that it's okay to go out and do things that you want to do that aren't necessarily the norm. Because I think being a female trucker for 35, 40 years, I don't know how long she did. She may not even realize this, but I think being a female truck driver and some of the things that she's tried to do over the years, they're not the normal way of doing things. So I always felt like it was okay that I tried things differently because that's what she did.
On a serious note, I guess it's hard work. You know, she would go out trucking with Daddy when, you know, when
Her
women
first trip
didn't
out
do
west when she was driving a truck, and Daddy had told her, he was in the sleeper, which is his common place to be, but he had told her, when you get to the top of the mountain, pull over and I'll drive it down, because she'd never driven on a mountain. Well, she didn't realize she'd gotten to the top of the mountain, and they come across the top and they are fully loaded, and she's realizing she's in trouble when she can't slow down doing over 60 miles an hour. And that mountain has switchbacks, and it was so bad that all of the truckers were on the CB yelling, get everybody out of the way, we've got to run away. And she couldn't get Daddy up, he's back in the sleeper sleeping. So he finally, Mother yelled and said, if you don't get up, I'm taking the next runaway ramp. And that got him up. So as soon as she realized he was up, she jumped out from under the steering wheel, he jumped under it, and they rode it down. There's no way that that truck should not have flipped off of the side of the mountain, no way, because the speedometer was pegged at, I think 80, no, 100, it was pegged. And when you get to the bottom of the mountain, it rolls out kind of flat. It has like a 1 or 2% grade, and it took them 12 miles to get the truck stopped because they didn't have any brakes. So I think that one is one of my favorite stories because my mother was in church. The best gift that she ever gave us was to raise us to know Jesus. And there's no way that truck wouldn't have fallen off the side of the mountain if she didn't have angels sitting on every single corner of that truck. And they must have sent a legion of them, because there's no way that it should not have, there's no way it should have happened like that. So the fact that God wasn't ready for her to go there yet, he still had stuff for her to do.
She was always supporting me in everything I did. So, I mean, all these different jobs that I've worked in the past few years or different things I've tried to accomplish, she always showed a lot of support, and it was definitely well appreciated, because anytime I came to y'all and started talking to y'all about it, she never said, didn't really have much many negative things to say about it. So that support really helped drive me along with trying to build a career.
She inspires me to dream, because Mother's a dreamer. And if you can't dream, you've got nothing.
I call it courageous in a sense, like crazy, to go up and live by yourself in Alaska for 2.5, 3 months, being totally alone. I mean, she could get into town to go to Walmart or whatever, but to stay secluded like that for 3 months is a lot of people wouldn't do it, you know.
Each one of us is who we are because we take a little piece of everything you taught us and we go and show that to the world. So any good that we do or any difference that we make, whatever we do, it comes from you. It's like you planted a seed in us, and that seed has grown and it's matured, and now we're taking and we're putting our seed out, and we're affecting the world. So any good that we do comes straight from Granny.
I learned a lot about parenting from my grandmother. Never heard her say a harsh word. She was never mean. Even when we as grandkids could be really snotty and mean, Granny never disciplined us, even though Granddaddy would tell her to, but never spoke a harsh word to us, never got mad. You know, she was always patient, loving with us, no matter what happened, what went on. So I've really tried to take that from her and apply it to my own life.
What one word would you use to describe Granny?
Awesome.
I'd have to say caring, because she'd give you the shirt off her back.
She's fun. I mean, she's fun to be around.
Loving. She loves everyone, no matter what.
Generous.
Patient. That woman put up with a lot from me.
Loving.
Caring.
Loving.
Love you. Thanks for everything. Thanks for teaching me to be who I am. That's not always a good thing, but At least I don't snatch people out of their cars no more.
Thank you. Thank you for having us in church. And I know I put it on Facebook 2 years ago around Mother's Day that I had the best mother in the world because she did that. She raised us in church. But I don't think I've ever told you. So that relationship with Jesus is my most important relationship, and I wouldn't have that if you hadn't been that example for me. So thank you.
Thank you for setting the example and for helping as much as you have, for everything that you do for all of us. Our lives would certainly not be the same without you, and I love you.
Tell me something that Granny does really well.
Paint.
She paints? Okay.
Good. She
What's-
paints purses.
She paints purses?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now that we love her and we miss hanging out with her as much.
Thank you for always being there for me, even though I was a butthole. And just loving and caring for me.
It makes me feel happy to know that she's there for us.
Yeah, just Granny, love you, miss you. I'll be down there in about a month and a half, so I'm gonna come bug you for some deviled eggs and some cornbread. So be ready.
Just know that I love her and appreciate her.
I love you. I love you.
Just to serve the Lord and to live every day like it's your last day. And if you die tonight, just know where you're going to be when you wake up in the morning. Family is the most important thing in the world. And when all your friends are out and gone, you're still going to have your family. We got the greatest family in the country.